stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Back at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
I'm Ethan Nagel, scout sniper and filmmaker. I've teamed up with combat veteran and founder of Project Leaflet, Chris Naganuma. We traveled to Izium to capture the stories of 3rd Assault Brigade's men on the front lines. This is Embed Actual.
If you have annoying neighbors, you can use this device.
Just crossed the river. We're gonna grab some coffee though before we hit the front line.
Heading back into the bunker for safety. Make sure we don't get hit with counter battery. Oh, there's one.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
What's going on? Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence on this 16 June. Coming off the Army's birthday weekend. Hey, woo-hoo. Happy birthday, 250. The Army's not 250. Pretty soon the country's gonna be 250. I know historians want to go back and forth and say, oh, you know, actually the Army's, well, the Army technically is only 251, blah, 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 blah. Look, just let everybody have their party, okay? Did you guys, anybody see the party? I know if you guys follow U.S. Army WTF Moments, it was shared, the live stream, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was all right. It's what a weekend thing you could say that it was the Army, I guess. I mean, it's the Army. What'd you expect? I know a lot of people were clowning on the marching. Woo! And my friend over Angry Cops, Richard High, is going to be providing an insight from his drill sergeant perspective, being the fact that he is a credentialed drill sergeant, an esteemed master of drill and ceremony. He teaches privates by the numbers, the walkthrough, talk through. So I think he's pretty qualified. And once he does his post about it, we will more than happy to share his report on just why did everybody look weird when they were marching. I provided some insight. So I heard there was a party last weekend. Mailman must have lost my invite. What? Oh, shut up. Oh, look. Okay, look. All the Marine guys, well, Marines and stupid Army and the Marines are, look, we have to hear about the Army, about the Marine ball, the Marine birthday, the tattoo, all the ceremonies every freaking day. There has to be at least several inferences to the Marine Corps and all that stuff. Hey, just let the Army have their thing. Let the Army have their fun. I thought it was a pretty good, again, hey, for what it was and what had happened, what had transpired, it wasn't bad. I'll be honest with you, that's probably the biggest, pretty large audience the Army had for any, I think, event. You go to an air show or All-American Week or Week of the Eagles. Yeah, that's the other one. What's the other one? Ivy Week, Mountain Fest. Name your specific honorific Army organization that has a has a long history, that has a well renowned. I'm just not Englishing today. I've been speaking in like another language earlier today, so it's kind of like blah blah blah. So yeah, so it wasn't bad for the Army thing. Now, of course, this being the Monday edition, I do love the fact that this is the Monday edition. That people were making it so fucking political. Like, look, dude, the Army was going to have the party no matter what. The Army was going to have the party no matter who was elected office. The Army was going to have the party whether hell or high water, who was in charge or how it was going to go. The Marines are 250. Yeah, the Marines should get it too. The Marines should have a parade. That's right. The Marines should have all the services should have I don't know how the Navy will pull off a parade though. Are they going to probably have like a passing review of ships or something like that? All these aircraft carriers, or the Marines, the same thing, How's it going to happen? Amtrak's on the, LAV-25s. They don't have tanks, so. But all the services should be celebrated. Look, I'll be honest with you, just seeing all the drama and the hate in the comments when we shared the live stream on U.S. Army WTF moments. Hey, you leaders need to be ashamed of yourselves. Because, your soldiers saw that. Family members of your soldiers saw that. Moms and dads of your soldiers saw that. All your little comments. I will say the screenshotting was quite active that day, just watching. We were just shaking our heads. I could not believe that individuals in this day and age on Al Gore's internet had the audacity to shit on our soldiers that were in the parade. Unreal. This is the one time you could have just put that shit down and looked for your family member, look for one of your soldiers that were, hey, that's my troop. Yeah. All that. Oh, yeah. Nope. Instead, you guys were throwing the fucking comments against Donald Trump, against President Trump, who is the commander-in-chief of all of our forces. And you guys just couldn't hold off for a couple hours while you were literally, you put that all over Al Gore's internet, specifically you MI people, individuals in the military intelligence community, especially around Fort Meade. I'm just going to say, either you're really fucking stupid or you have a sack to post what you posted on the Fox News stream, on the WTF Moment stream. Again, there's just some soldiers that were happy just to be in a historical parade. And it's historical. It's historical. It's history. You're only 250 years once. I just hope for the whole 400th anniversary that they have the soldier for life, the retirees. I was expecting some, after all that pomp and circumstance of everybody coming and everyone was marching through, seeing all the vehicles rolling by. Yeah, look at those tanks, those strikers. That one LMTV that had no armor on the tires, even little towing that artillery piece, that little LMTV was just happy to be there to include the crew that were manning it. I didn't see no retirees though at the end. I didn't see no soldier for life. I didn't see a soldier for life formation. They couldn't just gather a bunch of retirees. Hey, if you're in the area and you want to march in the parade, let us know. So that way we have hey, here's some retirees to show. Not VFW, not fucking American Legion. Just have the retirees show up, and then we'll be more than happy. I would have loved to walk around there, but too busy walking around other places. That would have been awesome to see. All the Army, blah, 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 and then they have the retirees and shit like that. Watching the VA just okay, that guy, I know he's got 100%. He's going to get his shit audited. No. Isn't he on profile? Did he get mudboarded? Oh, no, he's got I'm just kidding. I just thought it would have been pretty cool to see the retirees walking out at the last, hey, the retirees. These are the retirees, just a group of them. You didn't have to get a lot. Have them walk with a soldier for life flag or something like that. That I think would have been a good touch. But hey, maybe the next 250 or another 250 will go by, and we'll see if they even include retirees. Like I said, you're only 250 years old once. So happy birthday, U.S. Army. If you're a veteran, a U.S. Army veteran, if you were an active duty reserve National Guard, you should have had some pride in seeing your soldiers, your buddies. Because, guys got out, right? You seeing your friends, driving a tank or saluting from a vehicle? Fuck, man. Who cares who's in charge? Who cares who's the president? Everyone fucking rolling their eyes. Oh, God. Again, kind of wish y'all didn't fucking put that all over Al Gore's internet on all the Facebook platforms that we were able to capture screenshots on. because your soldiers saw it. That's how we, as a matter of fact, that's how we found out. That's how we found out. Commissioned officers were shit talking on the TL, on Maine, wide open. Like as if we didn't know who you were. Your soldiers sent that stuff to us. Hey, look, man, all I wanted was to celebrate, and here's my so-and-so, my OIC, my XO, company commander. Screenshot, 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 screenshot. So it doesn't matter if you delete your post now because you're going to be hunting through them. But just go to activity log on Facebook and you can find out where you posted something you probably shouldn't have posted. You couldn't just let the soldiers have their day. There's some soldiers that were like, did you see the videos and the pictures that we posted? We shared some images from Fancy Bear, Viva La Vargas. You guys have, like, the worst thing that I have ever seen in my life is watching veterans trash other veterans. Specifically, our influence that the younger generation that we have now. I don't get it. Post something, fucking pogue, fucking slick sleeve, blah, blah, on a combat veteran with, I think he's got like 2 Purple Hearts and a Master Infantryman's badge. Exactly that, Holly. There's a lot of people. You're right. There's some vehicles that I didn't even see. Like I've never seen before in my military career. Some history events that were happening. You saw the kids all happy and shit too, saluting the soldiers and stuff like that. How could you hate on that? Just because you don't like the guy who's in charge? Because I guarantee it. If it had been a President Harris, woo! It'd have been a concert series, fucking dancers and stuff like that in between the vehicles. There'd been probably more vehicles and shit. That probably would have been like a whole concert. So miss me with that bullshit. They're all the you'd have had fucking, well, I mean, I would say Harris, but you'd have had Harris there. Who the fuck was right? Oh yeah, Tim Walz. Yeah, you'd have been there too. And you know what? The soldiers would have performed professionally. And they would have been remarkable in the performance of that parade. Because again, you're only 250 years once. Stop being a bitch or pity and have a fucking, don't be butthurt. Look, it's whether you voted for him or not, it's about the soldiers. It ain't about you. Because trust me, some of your comments you were making about you. Authoritarian. What was that? You guys are, you're promoting authority. We got our inbox is spicy too. You guys are lucky that we have a sanctity in our inbox. Now, there's a couple of times we've argued about cracking the seal and let you guys see the inbox and who the fuck sends this shit. For almost 20 years, we have not broken that seal, ever. Nor will we ever, but I'm just saying, God, you guys are fucking brave. Woo! Calling us authoritarians, totalitarianism supporters. That we this, we that, felon this, felon that. I'm so glad this is a Monday edition. Holy crap. Like, shut up. Other notes. Hey, that was my Striker. Oh shit, I had that tank. That was my tank and such and such. It's, oh my God, look at this. I recognize that vehicle. Hey, that's my shit. Hey, that's my bro. The best one that got us in the fields was the parents. The parents saying that they couldn't make it. They could not make it to D.C. for whatever reasons. I mean, not everybody can get to D.C. You know, it's not uncommon, but you should, at least if you're around the area, you could try to make it to D.C. And they probably because the younger veterans were, probably because the younger generation loves running their mouths to older veterans, having some newbie that just finished telling me all sorts of shit. Works best in combat and talking crap, and then new guys that haven't even been in combat acting like they've done it. Oh man, well, I'm going to say this right now, is that a lot of them didn't really. How do I say this? You're right. Some of them do just like to talk shit, which is funny because the ones that they're in our inbox crying about whatever their fucking unit did. So those, we like to watch that too. So we can at least say that about the inbox. But Jesus Christ, dude, stop. It's not a big fucking deal. Let the kids have their fun. You can go to the VFW or the American Legion and cry at the bar, or go to whatever fucking left-leaning fucking whatever and call whatever or go whatever, so whatever supporting. So it, damn, Susan. Okay, hi. So again, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Again, just watching veterans trash veterans, or watching current soldiers, or guys that only did probably one tour, that probably have a DD-214 that doesn't even want you to fucking come back in, talk a lot of shit. Now, of course, everyone was freaking the fuck out, and I'm glad you brought it up, Holly, about a ceremony. You know, the president of the United States is the commander-in-chief. He's authorized to swear in soldiers, to enlist them. Obama's done it. Biden's sort of kind of done it. He's been there, I guess. Clinton, Bush, they've all been there to swear in new enlistees or re-enlistments. It's not an uncommon practice. We're not fucking falling. The planet's not, the sky's not falling. Unless you're in Iran, the sky's be falling pretty fucking hard right now. I'm just, you guys are really taking it. I will say society has taken it to the extreme when it comes to Trump. I'm just saying you guys are fucking just got to get over it. The guy's going to be here for another fucking 4 years. And everything that you fucking done has fucking failed to get him out. And I'll be honest with you. I will say this. I think if you'd kept your fucking mouth shut and not fucked with him, his fucking family, or not, I don't know, anything about him, just left him alone, he probably would have been golfing out at Mar-a-Lago right now. He probably just would have been like, oh God, look what's happening. Look at Harris. Oh my gosh, she's fucking the country up. That's probably what he would have said. That'd have been it. But no, you guys went after him on a personal level and wouldn't stop talking shit to where he said, fuck you, I'm running again. Was that in the Joker? You get what you deserve. That's what you get. Insomniac. I thought Trump swearing in the soldiers, yeah, you damn right, it was pretty good. It was not bad at all. That was not bad at all. So, yeah, it's fucking, you guys, woo! But it's okay. Don't sweat it. More likely that if you were probably one shit posted, you should be getting a phone call in the next 48 hours or something like that. Because, damn, I wouldn't have posted what you posted because everybody saw it all over Fox News. So, I think if you just left him alone, it'd have been all right. It'd have been all right. Oh, man. Another thing, okay, about the marching and stuff like that. Once Drill Sergeant High gets back with us and provides an analytical breakdown of the reason why it looked odd that these individuals were marching the way they were, and why a lot of individuals seem to be out of step. And because there was probably some technique there that was probably not a good idea to have these soldiers do. And the reason I say that is because the podium was to their left. As they were marching, of course, at any time that you were going to salute or render honors, and what do you say? What do you do, right? You say, eyes right. What do you do, right? Fucking eyes right. Eyes right. You salute. Mm-hmm. The soldiers were given the command, eyes left. And of course, Rich High will break down the scenario of how that happens, because everybody who's marched in the military knows that you step off on the left foot, and every command is based off of, off the left foot. So, yeah. But I don't know who was announcing during the parade, but he had an amazing voice and did a pretty good job. Yeah, he had a pretty good job. He did a real good job. What about the soft guy? That's what I'm talking about. Of course, everyone's defending everybody and everything. I will say this: sometimes those guys in that community, basic stuff is not really the basic stuff. They're more advanced in a lot of the shit they do is soldiering. That marching thing and standing in formations really isn't their forte. I don't know. Maybe after getting dragged all over the internet, they might do it. And that's the thing. Only we can drag them, talk shit and break balls about it. But watching everybody trash the military, watch everyone shit talking our military, just because they were there. It wasn't Trump's birthday party. It was the 250th anniversary. You could fucking stomp up and down, throw a temper tantrum until your face gets blue and red. Get it? Blue and red. Some of you really need to fucking, I don't know, lay off whatever you need. Or take something to calm down, whatever the fuck you got. Oh yeah, we got guests tonight. Woo, my bad. We got guests tonight. We got 2 guests, actually. 2 of our guests are going to be coming on, and they're going to be from Restoration One. And Restoration One, they deal in how do I say this? They deal in damage control, and part of it is mold. So we're going to shoot the shit about restoration, what they do, how to do recovery. Basically, so they're also vets. So we're going to get a little bit, a little bit of background on them, what their stories are. But I'm excited because mold seems to be hot. Well, actually, when it is hot, mold is hot. Why didn't you go there? Oh, I'm not gonna. I mean, I had CQ in the crew there. So yeah, I had CQ in the crew, and Nemo and some other behind the scenes members of the W.T.F Nation that were there. They were doing a pretty good job. So if you guys don't know, if you guys follow our collab app, Hots and Cots, the app is quickly approaching 15,000 downloads. And it's already working on a 3.0, a version 3.0. So that's pretty cool. That's good shit. So shout out to Hots and Cots for doing the Lord's work and cataloging and getting all that information of all the facilities. Make sure you download Hots and Cots. You notice in the inbox, we're telling everybody to use the app. And that way it's a better track because Army leaders are seeing that the soldiers are using that a lot more than, like I said, 15,000 downloads, man. Woof. That's a lot. So, did you, all right, I got a personal DM. Did any of those vehicles that were there, did you learn how to drive as a private? Wow. As a matter of fact, yes. One of the vehicles that was there, I learned to drive as a private. But it was a newer model. The Jeep, yes, the Jeep. I learned to drive that as that was the first vehicle that I was checked off for a military license. Shut up, I'm not that old. But yeah, that's what the like Holly was saying, some good shit, some good historical stuff. There's vehicles in there. I was like, what the hell is that? I had to send a DM to one of my buddies, like, dude, what is that? And they'd tell me what it is or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig stuff like that. That's historical stuff. So, all right, this is something that's kind of funny. It's been hitting the inbox lately. I don't know how to say this. If something hits the inbox and it gets posted, it's not coming down. Yeah, LPCs. Yeah, what's up, Gary? It's not coming down. I'm gonna show you. As a matter of fact, when it gets posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments, when you see the Facebook page, at the same time, there's 2 other platforms that are synchronized to post the same content. So if a picture gets posted on Facebook and you're like, oh, this is messed up, it needs to come down. Well, it's not, unless the cops tell us, hey, you need to take this down. And there have been cases where law enforcement, specifically the feds, have asked us, hey, can you take that down? Because we're working on a case and blah, 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 blah. And here's the reason why. We get the details. Again, inbox sanctity. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And that's about the only time we see it come down. The banning criteria. If you post next of kin information, you're going to get banned. No takesies, backsies, no. Like, for instance, during the helicopter collision in D.C., recent helicopter incident in Fort Campbell, and including the individuals in Lithuania that perished in the M88. There were some assholes there that really like to post that shit first. I got to be the first one to post. The worst ones are the fucking dependas. I think we now can say that the pendas now are, it's an acceptable term to say. The pendas. And they're the ones that like to be quick. Oh, because I know, and I know, and I know. And because of that, someone told me that I heard my dog's groomer fucking pooper scooper detail, dog walker's sister, aunt said this. And then they try to run around. So we will ban you. We will ban you if you post information that breaches next of kin. That's common courtesy. When the Army announces it, the Army usually reaches out to us and says, hey, here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. You guys probably have information, which usually we do, of the individuals or said in incident details, blah, 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 blah. What do you have? There's usually an exchange of notes going back and forth. And we go, yep, this is the information that we have. And again, sometimes it usually assists in their investigation. Do you have anything that might have assisted in this? Do you know what's going on? Did you get any details? Because we get an inbox inquiries a lot from individuals conducting an AR-15-6 investigation on whatever incident's happening. So that's about really the only cross. And again, it's only a serious incident, especially if there's a fatality involved and we see it posted on there. Blam, blam, blam. You delete it. You're gone. Matter of fact, you won't even, not only are you not going to be able to access U.S. Army W.T.F moments, but you're not going to be able to access W.T.F moments on Instagram, which is where we're at, on Facebook, which is where we're at, and on Twitter. Yeah, just block, 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 block. Yeah. You're blocked. Other than that, what you post on Al Gore's internet, yep. So let's go back to content. When content gets posted on said platforms, here's what happens. It gets posted, everyone reacts or chuckles or ha ha ha, whatever. Usually we'll get the same image or content. We'll just get the same content of, like, for example, like a video, a share, an image, still image, and we'll usually get like several hundred of the same or different types of images from different angles. So like I say, for instance, somebody fucks up and trips while they're running, like you saw a video posted earlier, running to a Bradley, and he tripped. We've got like 3 different angles of the stuff. It's just normal. What we don't appreciate is when somebody comes in the inbox and demands that we take it down and says that it's OPSEC, which it's funny because a lot of individuals don't know what the fuck OPSEC means to throw the word OPSEC around. What's even funnier is, hey, what's up, Zoltan? Oh, man, long time no hear. What's going on, Zoltan? Did you do any Army things? Did you go to Army 250? 250? Okay, why yeah, Zoltan, I'm just saying about the content, how we post. If let's put it this way, if your organization posts or sends us something, or members of your organization sends us something, and it's clearly not OPSEC, but we didn't know it was OPSEC until you said, hey, those things in the image that are going to get OPSEC, blah, 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 blah. And 19 other images have been sent into us from different angles. Like I said, I'm kind of like being subtle here, the subtlety on this, because I'm letting a command know right now. If you're going to bust somebody for sending us something, you better bust your whole organization. NCOs, soldiers, officers, TikToks. Those are hilarious too. Hey, why'd you share my TikTok? Take that down. You posted it on TikTok. Everybody saw it. I was just Zoltan. I was just talking about the terms of service when a post goes up on Facebook. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. You need to DM us an address so we can send you a swag bag from W.T.F Moments. A W.T.F Moments swag bag. That way we can hook it up for you, so you can sport some tees, some gear. But yeah, so somebody said you can't UCMJ all of us, and there's individuals on the ground that said, hey, that image that you posted has got, and I'm just using this for example purely, of course, that image that you posted has got the chain of command all fucked up. Just letting you know. And by the way, how many people just out of curiosity said that? We'll say, well, just about the whole organization. And then the comment sent back to us was, they can't use CMJ assault. So again, oh, you got your swag pack. Oh, cool. King Smith got his stuff. That's legit. You're gonna be sporting it on the show. There we go. U.S. Army W.T.F. Moments has a swag pack. Picks incoming. There you go. There you go. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me check. Are you gonna put it in the chats? So everyone's getting their swag packs. Everyone that has been identified for a swag pack delivery, you should be getting one soon. It's pretty cool. Can't wait for everybody to see everyone's reaction when they get the swag pack. You can go into U.S. Army WTF Moments to go to the top of the pinned posts, and you can see that there's the shop is open. Look at the shop. So individuals that have been supportive, individuals that have been supported to us in the past, and you might be getting a swag pack. So, I see this. It's almost like how you give a coin to somebody or a certificate of a pat in the back. You know, we do that too. Yeah, exactly that, Zoltan. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. It's like I tell them, explain it in the most un-OPSEC level. See, exactly. So there's been several incidents where someone says, "Hey, take that down. It's OPSEC," and I'm like, "Have you not seen our timeline from 2010 to now? We've gotten images from soft compounds in Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa." Why not? We'll get you a swag bag. We'll get you a swag bag. The Army salute detail and the music was so freaking cool. I want to know what recruitment ads were in that day. Yeah, I know, man. That's a good point. There were some good ads in there. But yeah, Zoltan brings up a good point. What is OPSEC? Tell me, what is OPSEC? Isn't there supposed to be some criteria on there for what is supposed to be OPSEC? We get it all the time. The famous one we got was there was a patch painted on the ground. You need to take that out. That's OPSEC. Oh, or fucking, a Connex. You need to take that out. That's OPSEC. Wait a minute. Did you guys see the demonstration at Trump, for President Trump at Fort Bragg? And that Connex had the fucking missiles in it? Ooh. But they can, like you said, Zoltan, they can never explain it. So we get the threats. Literally, we'll have people coming in the inbox. Well, you guys are a bunch of fat specialists. Take that crap down, and you guys are detrimental to the Army. Yeah, I don't know how the Army does this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, see? Ryan says, I'm glad I was in when there wasn't social media and the stuff that we did never saw the light of day. That's what I'm saying. There's stuff that we posted from 2010 to now that has seen the light of day that is 100% harmless. But for some reason, commands like to say, or individual NCOs that, I didn't know I didn't know this OPSEC experts just came out. That's like, exactly that. OPSEC experts are like exactly. Tsunami expert, rocket experts, missile experts. Yep, exactly. PSYOP experts. Oh, tell me about it. Yep. So, Zoltan, Ocean's 11 in the YouTube chat wants you to fix the OML number, please. Pagey Zoltan to the YouTube chat. So yeah, again, it's not coming down. If your buddy said something with you in it, talk to them. It's not coming down. Nope. What about, isn't that cyberbullying? Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question. Isn't it cyberbullying? I don't know. Is it? Especially when we go on said individuals' pages that ask us to take it down and threaten us with cyberbully, taking it with Facebook. Most of it that we post, we will look at your content. And we'll say, damn, dude, you just told somebody to put somebody on blast, which we've had that before as well. You need to put this post on blast. Drag that person. Blah, blah, blah. But there you get posted, gets put up. You need to take this down. This is cyberbullying. It usually ranges from the veterans to specialists. It's a gray area. Back in my day, we didn't do that. I was there. We did the same thing. Yeah. Zoltan says no. OML numbers? No. There you go. Man, you guys don't upset Zoltan. He's always in the chat shooting the breeze with us. Friendly. He's an ally to the W.T.F. Nation. Sometimes you'll see us post some of his stuff from his desk. So don't pick on Zoltan. Zoltan's got connections. You'll probably end up going to Jaybird or something like that. Or some of those undisclosed locations that nobody wants to go to. Some individuals want to go to Korea, though. I should have taken advantage of a Korea tour. But go to the Facebook. Go to the Facebook. Oh, okay. Oh, whoa. We got. There we go. Let me see. Let me get a window cap here. Let me get a window cap here. Some of the swag. Some of the swaggage. Look at that. Oh man, you guys look good. Oh man, look, our very own King Smith. Straight to Gitmo. I'm just saying, don't fuck with Zoltan. He's going to send you to Gitmo. Look at that. Oh, that's what some of you individuals that are receiving swag bags should be getting some of the stuff like ball cap. That's what I'm talking about. Why I'm the freaking boss? How the hell am I not going to get that freaking swag bag? Oh man, looking good, King. Looking good. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see, we got another one here. Who's this? Oh, there we go. There's Mom. Look at that. There you go. Look at everyone looking. Everyone sporting their stuff, man. Looking good. Looking good. That's what I'm talking about. Honestly, Army WTF Moments stands as an example of don't do something or the whole military is going to know what you did, and pretty good deterrence from doing stupid stuff. Well, that's the thing. That's the whole theme of the game, right? It's called U.S. Army WTF Moments, which is what? A WTF moment. If you see somebody running towards a Bradley and they trip and fall, what's the first thing you do? As veterans, as members of the military, hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. And then we laugh to make sure they're okay. That's a WTF moment. What are your topics? Oh, yeah. Off topic? No, not really off topic because we're going to talk about it later, too. Matter of fact, we'll talk about it real quick right now. What are my thoughts of the president, our president, telling to leave Tehran immediately? I'll say he's probably caused one of the largest traffic jams in that city in a long time. What do I think? I don't know. The way the world has been going, I thought, well, I mean, come on, Insomniac. I thought the public at large would be supporting the U.S. soldiers and not trying to drive a wedge between the veteran community and active duty soldiers just because of somebody who's standing on the podium. Look, but here we are. So it's like, hey, see ya. What are my thoughts about the G7 happening in Canada? Well, the U.S. has pulled out. They took off. President Trump has departed the G7 early after warning everyone they should evacuate. Because right now Israel is getting in that ass in Iran. Again, just like Ukraine and Russia, just like Israel and Iran, all the stuff that happened, or cadences that I used to sing back in the day, are coming true with other people doing it. Oh yeah, I'm about to say you still need to give us some coins. Yeah, exactly that. Zoltan, let us know. And we'll get you. We'll play. Actually, we could. Oh yeah, we could talk offline. We could be your proxy for your Zoltan hunt. You just got to tell us what you do for it, because a lot of we staff members all across the country. So you just let us know what your criteria is, and so that way we can make sure that it's practicing. There's CSMs out there who do. There's CSMs out there whose skins crawl just hearing y'all's name, and it's just hilarious. So yeah, it's funny. Too easy, Zoltan. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw that video of the newscaster in Tehran. Matter of fact, let me see if are we gonna get in trouble? Wow, I don't think Iran's gonna give us a content strike for this. I don't know, can they? I don't know. Russia and Belarus banned us and got pissed off and tried to take the page down. So let's see. Yeah, you're right. I remember seeing that. Newscaster gets bombed or gets rocketed. What was it? She was on there, right? I can't remember. I only saw a glimpse of it. Okay, yeah, she rocketed. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, she did. Well, okay, I'm looking at the video right now. Okay, hang on. Okay, I got a 17-second clip that I can post right here. Exactly. It's OPSEC. Yeah, exactly that. Zoltan got the jokes. It's OPSEC. All right, let's see what happened here. I don't even know what she said, so I don't know. If you guys can speak Persian Farsi, then wait, is it Persian Farsi? Yeah, I could yeah, imagine it happening to me. I don't know. I've had Baby Ice walk into the show before I was on camera. He walked in here, told everybody he had to go potty. I remember that. So hang on, let me see if I can get the sounds up right here. So. Damn. I know I always break balls about watching reaction videos, and TZ always makes fun of me for watching and laughing at people who watch reaction videos. So you're all joining me in this reaction video. Yeah, she got wrecked. Oh, I'm curious what she said at the beginning, though. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. As everyone's like saying Allahu Akbar at the end, so that's Persian. I don't speak Persian, so yeah, Iran's Persian language. Yeah. Reaction video number 2. Holly, are you keeping track? I was gonna do the army parade, but I didn't want to do that. I did a hype vid on my own, posted it on my own socials about it. Did you see the videos of the rockets flying into Tel Aviv? I did. Holy shit, man. That was that was nuts. That was nuts. Just seeing it. It's almost it's pretty fucking crazy to see that. It almost looks. It looks eerie. It's just like you're watching that shit, going, "Damn, dude, you're fuck." It just someone was saying that it's watching that come in, and it's almost mesmerizing. People are just watching it, land. But yeah, Iranian rockets hit Tel Aviv, and yeah, somebody submitted Purple Heart. Yeah, the rockets hitting Tel Aviv. Yeah, that was crazy watching that shit. Like I said, it looks almost. Somebody said it was like mesmerized. You're like, oh shit, and then watching it just fall in. It's like people aren't used to that. I guess. I mean, well, I should say Israel is used to that, but us. I couldn't even imagine us being so. She's more infantry than Cav Scouts. Damn, dude. Why you bashing something that doesn't exist anymore? That's like bashing Marines with no tanks. Yeah, I'm looking at all the videos and stuff. Hang on, I'm trying to find videos of it's hitting. Not hitting, but flying in. Also happening in have you seen anything in whoever stormed a budget meeting? I just did. What? I'll tell you what, we're gonna take a break right quick. We gotta get the guests on. I already see them popping in, already queued up. And we'll get them set up and we'll get them going, and then we will we're gonna shoot the breeze with them. 2 veterans starting up a company, and also I'm gonna poke their brain about some of the restoration stuff that they do, to see what they could do for the Army. That's almost like they should get these dudes in to have them help the Army out. Because if you guys see that post from Hots and Cots Jump School, all that mold on the roof, man. Like I said, mold is hot. It's a hot topic right now. So we're going to take a break right quick, and I'll get these guys. Hutch, Hillebert, and Adam Babin are going to, I hope I didn't fuck up his name, Babin or Babin. I really hope I don't mess it up. I'll ask I'll ask in the green room when I get on break, because I hate it when people fuck up my name. So I don't want to fucking be a dick. Do the same. So we'll be right back, and everyone smoke them if you got them. Hit the head, hit the latrine, and shots. We'll be right back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
A soldier's tale of wild misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. The mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge treated like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army of the force, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wildlings roam, every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange. Army of the force, it never will change. She'll raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say, Army of the force, every single day.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Guess at Restoration 1. Fucking with me because I couldn't say the name right. Oh man, Hutch, Hillebert, and Adam Babin. There you go. Welcome.
Or Babin.
Or Babin.
Yeah.
Or Blabbin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
By the end of this.
By the end of Babin, Blabbin. But anyways, Restoration 1. These gentlemen here are veterans, and so we're gonna shoot the breeze with them. And I know, like I said during my initial diatribe, mold and mold damage are a hot topic in the U.S. Army right now. So these gentlemen are going to give us a rundown on how, and just basically, first off, we want to highlight that they're veterans, and then we also want to highlight them and what they do and what they've seen. So, gents, whoever wants to go ahead and start off their story. Go ahead.
I don't want to blab, so. So my name's Adam Babin. I out here in the Reno Tahoe area in northern Nevada, Northern California. I am a former Marine. I was signed up in the reserves, but in the time that I signed up, like many people, spent most of my time on active duty. I joined in 2003. And ultimately fully out of the military in 2007, 2008 timeframe there. And after that, I spent time as a contractor working overseas, and then spent time as a Department of Army civilian GS working overseas. So kind of get a little perspective of all the areas. See, I was in the infantry, and then I was also in a combat engineer unit. Wow. So I have multiple MOSs, infantry, and then actually I went to second echelon tech school for communications and SATCOM and things. So did a variety of things at the military. Let's see, I stationed in Lejeune and Geiger, of course, then to the West Coast. I was at beautiful 29 Stumps. I'm in Palms. Let me tell you, coming out of Maine, born and raised in Maine, and then never been to California, never knowing what it's like. You hear about Southern California, you hear about 29 Palms and Palm Springs, and you just imagine, oh, this must be stunning out here.
Yeah.
And they fly you in at nighttime so that you get there and you see all the lights in the desert. You're like, oh, this must be a grand city and everything. And you wake up and there's nothing. And you wonder where all the lights went.
or the people.
Yeah.
Robert Plant sang a song about that thing where it made it sound like it was so beautiful and majestic. And then you show up, you're like, God, man.
Yeah. Lake Bandini is all you get to see. And when the downwind comes at you, you know exactly what's going on.
Exactly. How about you, Hutch? Tell us about your story, man.
Absolutely, sir. So my name is Hutch Hillebert. Thank you for asking. I was in the Air Force Presidential Honor Guard, so I performed all the funerals at Arlington National Cemetery. Then I was a security escort for Secretary Rumsfeld and a C-5 flight engineer, so I was stationed at Bolling Air Force Base, also in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon, where I met Adam Babin, and then at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware as a C-5 flight engineer. Joined in 2000, and I got out around 2008.
Okay. So so both of you guys are you guys both active in the GWAT then? I mean, during that time that you were in?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. So what made you, okay, first off, again, I keep blabbing about, now I can't get it on my fucking head, that joke. We were discussing about mitigation with mold and how the Army just seems to, or the military, I should say, because it's not just the Army. that seems to have a problem with mold, and I don't know what it is. And like I was telling you, I gave my little contractor assistant drama that I did back in the day, but I don't know what it is. Why is it that the military seems to be struggling with mold? Would you guys be able to expand or give us an idea?
So, and I'll go first real quick, just on my thoughts on it. Right, I'm not speaking for the Army, that's for sure. But obviously, getting into a franchise and then learning more and more, and getting our licenses and certifications in the mold remediation arena, there's a lot more that goes to mold. Obviously, their mold grows. I had no idea that every time mold gets fed, which it gets fed by moisture or water or sewage or sweat, whatever it is, the dampness, it grows, it multiplies. So if you have 4,000 spores, tomorrow morning you have 8,000 spores. But I think the biggest thing is that they're oftentimes they'll send the troops in to go clean it. Take your bleach, take your water, take your vinegar, take whatever you need to go clean it. And all you're really doing is you're feeding it. You're feeding it. And so I think the biggest thing is and listen, there's some old buildings, right? I was stationed on the East Coast for my entire military tenure. There's some very old buildings, and in old buildings, there's old bones and old cracks, and things have been plastered over and covered over and covered over. And every time you cover that up, guess what? It's still just growing mold back there, because every time that little moisture gets there, it gets a little humid. You're feeding that mold.
Now,
there it is.
There it is. About I want because we're going to highlight our collab app with Hutch and Cots, and I just want to show you guys who started. Actually, let me wind up a little bit back. I maybe got a little ahead of myself. What is Restoration One? What is Restoration One? Who started it off? Who was the? Is it you guys specifically with the company? Are you guys part of a franchise, or how are you? What's your affiliation? You don't own the place, right? You don't own a.
So we own our independent units.
Okay,
I own Restoration One of Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Restoration One of Wilmington, North Carolina, and Restoration One of Pittsburgh North. Restoration One's been around since 2008.
Okay.
It started as a conglomerate and quickly grew. From 2008 to 2020, we had a CEO that was at the helm. He was known as the Redneck CEO. He's been around for a very long time, and his job is to grow franchise markets, or grow franchisees into the spirit. So there's 147 of me and 470 locations throughout the U.S. And again, I'm friends with Adam. Adam had reached out to me because he was going to buy a restoration company in Florida, and first thing I said to him is, don't buy shit in Florida. The legations out there is horrible. And then number two, don't buy an already established restoration company. Because I love my clients, but you don't want repeat clients. He's like, but I'm buying their book of business. And I said, if you have a book of business from restoration companies, you don't want their book of business. And I'll let Adam tell the rest. But ultimately, Adam has been a great added feature to our portfolio here, and I'm his number one chairman. I'm his number one champion. I've been out to his location. I sent my director of projects out to his location to help him get up and running. Adam's been a friend since before Restoration One. However, the Restoration One mantra and the vision and the mission, the statement that they live by is the reason why I'm here.
Yep, and that's what kind of brought me in, is when I reached out to Hutch, and I found this. Been for about a year and a half. I was educating myself on small business acquisition, what it requires, entails, what to look for, how to go through the process, your due diligence, and things like that. And I'd previously built businesses before, and in different industries, and I knew that I didn't want to go through the startup phase of any business, which is always a brutal grind. There's always a lot of questioning yourself and things like that. And I wanted to get something that was existed and running, and it already had a brand to it, because I didn't want to have to build a brand from scratch. And so, but I originally didn't want to get into a franchise because of typically how they run them. You are controlled a fair amount through the franchise headquarters, and what you can do, how you can do it, things like that. I stumbled upon, as Hutch said, restoration industry in Florida. Found a business. I said, man, these numbers. After all these, I was what we call industry agnostic. That means that you're not specific industry. I was not regionally specific. There were parts of the country where I like to be, but I was looking for a business to invest in that I could bring in my skills and be an asset to it, going to the next level and growing from where it was. Maybe an owner who's been doing it for a long period of time. So we reached out to Hutch, showed him what I had, and I thought it might have been his part of his franchise. Colors were similar and whatnot. And then that's where, a 20-minute, 30-minute call on a Saturday afternoon turned into 3 hours. We went over finances and stuff like that and talked about the reality of the industry. And then he shared with me about Restoration One and the franchise. And it connected me with the franchise director about new franchisees. And I had a phone call with that and CEO at the time. And like Hutch said, the franchises core values, what they talked about, what they believed in, what was important to them, how they ran it shouldn't say run, but their beliefs and SOPs and our interaction as an owner to the corporate level headquarters there was everything that you would want without having to be controlled by a franchise and so that's why I ultimately pulled the trigger.
Now, is there some sort of training program to where you guys, like, say you want to get involved in this, and you get ready to start off, and then is there something? Okay, well, you're restoration specialist. You got to know about restoration. What's the experience level that they bring you up to if you don't have any?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the big things that we do, and we have a really good training director that has been in the industry for 30 some years. Her dad was in the industry. She built out her dad's company. So she's in charge of making sure that, number one, before you open, that you don't open without your certification. So you need to have your water certification from the IICRC. You need to have your advanced structural drying or your ASD from the IIC certification firm. And then there's different steps, right? So you need your AMRT, which is for mold. You need your FSRT, which is for fire. And you got to have those certifications, and you have to keep, just like in the military, you have to keep your CEs concurrent, right? You got to keep up with them. You got to keep them going. That's one thing that I pride myself on R1 is that when I opened my doors finally, and I don't say that in a negative fashion, but after buying, I was like, shit, let's make some money, right? You just invested all this money in the franchise. Let's go make some money. No, there's a checks and balance, and they make sure you have all of your stuff, your ducks in a row. There's a telecom side, there's a training side, and then even more so, and I think Adam still is with this young lady. That director of training stays with you for a whole year.
Oh, wow.
Until you're ready for your own franchise consultant. So she stays with you for a whole year. She makes sure that that you're going to be successful. I mean, just last week, I'll sidebar a quick story. Just last week, we had our annual partner summit, and Adam calls me like the day before. He's like, dude, we're effing busy. One of my guys just got arrested. And I'm not trying to talk out of turn in here. But
No. You got plenty of time. You got plenty of time.
It happens to me too. I don't want to talk bad about somebody either, but it happens to me too. One of my guys got arrested, and we're busy, and my business is my business, it's my livelihood. And he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it to Partner Summit. And so I gave him a hard time, right? I'm like, no, pull the trigger, let's go. Who am I going to golf with, dude? You're supposed to golf with me at 98 degrees in Dallas on Saturday. But ultimately, she also called, and that's the one thing I'll tell you about R1 is it doesn't matter what you're going through. It can be personal, it can be business, it can be family. The camaraderie and the partnership within the R1 community is huge. It is almost like being in the military where they actually give a shit what you're doing on a day-to-day basis and how you're feeling.
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
And I was going to say on that note, when new owners, prospective owners reach out to us, they get our contact information from corporate and they say, well, can we talk to some other owners? Or say, absolutely. And, there's a bunch of us that are on a list that say, yeah, we'd love to talk to anybody who's prospective owners to essentially that might become our peers. They want to buy a territory. They want to come in. So they reach out to us and we chat with them. And what I always explain to them and really anybody else is I said, we didn't purchase a territory and become subordinates to some, some equity group that is going to tell us how to run our business so that it betters them. We actually purchased a territory that gets support from a marketing arm that is our brand, because that's our biggest support from them. And then we are now part of the largest restoration peer group in the country, because that's what it is. The number of other owners in this country that are always willing, no matter where they are in their life cycle of their business, willing to get on the phone with us, to have a Zoom call with us, to help each other out. It's amazing. It really is. Yeah. And that's what you learn quickly. Of course, you have to take the initiative to reach out to them and be flexible, because of course they're incredibly busy. They're managing, tens of millions of dollars in business every year. And so, you know, but having that resource is invaluable, and having that camaraderie is invaluable.
And you know, actually, and it kind of does sound like the military a little bit, because you guys are doing some back-breaking work. I mean, memories are made in the suck, not in the office, man. And so, and so you're what you guys are doing, and that's another reason why I'm glad you guys are here, is the amount of work that goes in to what you guys do. I mean, like you were just saying on break, and we can talk about it now, is that you'll be in a situation where you think you're never going to know. It's almost like I don't want to compare it to cops, but it's just like nothing's routine in your guys' work. I mean, nothing's routine. Again, I keep going back to the Army and the mold. Is there some sort of like a, and somebody brought this up to me, is it because we have just cheap drywall, or is it poor maintenance? Is it, what is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So poor maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Like Hutch said, when there's a water loss, there's a leak, there's some sort of damage. One, people think that they can just put some fans on it and it dries. Two, they think because you can touch it and it feels dry that it's dry. Right. Three, they never think about what are the other materials that could have gotten wet when this water came through. Where did it come from? Where did it go? We know that water will follow the path of least resistance. So what else is wet? We probably should open up this wall and see, is there anything else back here?
Right.
No. It looks dry. It feels dry. We're going to move on. And that's just not the case. It's not. Things feel dry all the time. And then you stick a probe in the wall and it's like, oh no, that's actually 70% saturated. And that's very common. So I will say, I want to touch on the point you brought up, the suck, and I love that you brought that up, because our youngest tech, he was in a crawl space, sewage loss. You know, you're down there. He's fully suited up, all kitted. Might as well mop level 4, right?
Exactly.
And he's in there, and he's still trying to like get around things and not get into it too much. And finally, like hour 4 or 5 of the day, he's like, I just sat down in it. I was like, you know what? I don't care. I guess, and he goes, my whole mentality changed. And I go, you know what you did? You embraced the suck. Yeah. This was a 7-day job. You're going to be in here every day doing stuff. You just got to embrace the suck. And then as soon as you embrace it, all of a sudden everything gets a lot better, you know? He was blown away when I told that to him, and I was like, "That's what it's called," and it stuck with him.
Yeah. I mean, you probably work not with just with veterans, but you probably work with individuals that don't know our euphemisms or phrases, and it's almost like you're a guru, like you're the guru on the rock, going, "Oh yes, embrace the sun."
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
And they're looking at
it's enlightenment.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny is that because we are our own owners, right? We own our franchisee, and we get to do what we want. I pride myself, and my director of projects will tell you the same thing, is that we consider ourselves a third chance employer. There's a lot of veterans out there that are damn good people that came back and just aren't the fucking same. And sometimes they need a job, and they need a career, and they need to be able to continue to serve their community they live in. So we pride ourselves here at our location. I know, and Adam's heard this before, but you know, I took a veteran that literally was living in a car and gave him a job. And the guy thrived with us. It's huge to me to be able to be that third chance employer, because there's some damn good veterans out there that I don't give a shit what anybody says, that may have came back and they were on pills, or their lives just went a different path when they got back. You know, nothing sucks more than coming home and your wife's with somebody else. But that being said, they're still damn good people. And so, you know, and I say it all the time to new owners that call me, when the franchisee calls me and says, you know, how are you not struggling? Not necessarily finding people, but employing people. I said, because all you got to do is open your door. You open your damn door. There's people out there that want to continue to give back to their community.
Well, and that's the stigma, and we've talked about it before with other guests, specifically with like you know, veteran affairs resource officers and all that. It's just, this just seems like there's a stigma with bad paper discharges that at any other company wouldn't have been a fucking big deal. Like it would have just been like, okay, you got busted, you're disrespected at NCO or whatever, and now you got an other than honorable discharge. That I think that sometimes the military just, I mean, look, if you really wanted to do it right, just take their fucking pay and let them ETS, and they got, you know, the way I see it, they got their licks, they fucking paid their dues. That's kind of like paying your debt to society military-wise, the same thing that should happen in the civilian world. You paid your debt to, that's why they call it this. I keep saying this. That's why they call it the system. The system is for you to pay your debt to society and come back out. Granted, you're probably a little, hang your head a little low because you got humbled. But I mean, as long as it's not like murder or something like that, then, but it's the same thing that happens in the military all the time. We give these bad paper discharges to these kids that are, I think, sometimes excessive. Like, look, somebody disrespects an NCO or somebody's late to formation or something like that. Dude, you're not supposed to mark them for life in that, but they're just some commander that kids come out with bad paper DD-214s, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen them, and they come out like, oh yeah, I can't do it. Well, and then you look back at their record, you're like, holy crap, you told somebody to shut the fuck up and they outranked you and they wanted to slam you. You know what I mean? I mean, I get a disciplinary, practice of, taking your pay or losing a stripe, but damn, dude, we say the same thing all the time. It's just one of those things to where we just, it's a work ethic thing that I think that some soldiers or some veterans, I should say, come out with a really good work ethic and they got beat down by it. Like second, third chance, I believe the same thing too. You at least give them an opportunity so they're not a statistic ending their lives in a VA parking lot. That's my biggest thing is like, you could have been that lifeline, that guy's option after that. If it didn't go his way or her way, could have been that way. That's good. That's good to fucking hear, man. I like hearing shit like that. That's what, I mean, like I said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I think, obviously there's some qualifications that you have to maintain for employment, right? So what do I need to, if I wanted to work, cause I'm retired, so I can talk shit. So, if I wanted to work for you guys or wanted to do, what do I got to do? What's my
you need a driver's license. Okay. That's number one. Got to have a driver's license.
Okay. And that's it. That's like, I could breathe and that's it.
That's important because you might have to be like, if you're on call
gotcha.
We have, cause we're 24/7. So if you're on call on the team, you need to be able to drive a work van and get to calls and things like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we need to have a driver's license. That's important for us.
Okay.
You need to get one of our certifications after at least 90 days. We do a 90-day period when you come on board. If you show us you have those other soft skills we're looking for,
right.
Can make eye contact, can communicate well, can listen to what we're saying and like implement some of these basic things initially,
right.
Then we'll go ahead and send you to get your certification, and we'll pay for your certification to be WRT, or some of the things that Hutch was talking about earlier, so that you'll be trained and certified on the team to know what to do when you get to the job. So, for us, like you said, we need a driver's license, and we need to know that you have the drive and willingness to learn.
There's no educational, like high school, college, masters, bachelors, no. Wow.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
You can wake up. If you can wake up and you have a driver's license and you want to learn and you want to be customer service oriented, I consider all my team is a second responder, right? The ambulance shows up, the fire department shows up, the cops show up. What do you do when the fire's out? What do you do when the water's turned off?
Yes, exactly.
You call Restoration 1, and literally we're second responders. And as long as you show up, it's very similar to Adam. And we've it's not a corporate thing. It's not an HR thing, or excuse me, an HQ thing. It's literally, if you want to be here and you're busting your ass, I'm going to pay for you to get your certs.
Right.
But here's the next thing: you get your damn certs. It's like getting another stripe. I'm going to give you a raise. You get that cert, I'm going to give you a raise, and my team knows that. And they have to maintain that cert. So they have to do their continuing education. They have to do the things that they need to do to be able to maintain that certification, because that's what gets them to work. But I think the biggest thing is, and Adam hit on it, is being customer service oriented, right? We're in people's homes. That's their safety. That, think about it. We're there from anywhere from 3 to 10 days, depending on the type of loss. 2 of my locations are in the oldest place in America, Pennsylvania. We have some of the oldest pipes that love to spit sewage.
Yeah,
it spits shit everywhere.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm about to say, the heart of America basically is where, is where America was. People like to argue, and historians will probably try to shit on me or something like that for saying, "That's not birth of America." But it literally is just about. I think about it that way.
It is. It 100% is, and as long as my team shows up or makes the appearance of showing up, because listen, man, I've had bad days. I got called out. When that phone rang at 3 o'clock in the morning because someone had 6 inches of water in their basement. Guess what? My phone went off too. I might not have been at the job site, but I was there. I seen it. I made sure the techs were out and dispatching. And I have a really good team, and I pride myself on my team. But because without my team and me leading my team, I'd be shit, man. I would be that I don't know. Name some funky colonel you had, because I had a couple of them myself. But I'd be that colonel that was like, damn, why am I the only one standing here at 4:30 in the morning? I'm trying to get the message.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, more of a sergeant major too. It's like, what the hell, what's if a colonel's standing out, if a colonel's on a job site, there's an issue. You know what I mean? How come there's not NCOs all the way up to, you know what I mean? That I should just be getting a phone call or something like that. No, you're right. Yeah. Now, do you guys, for some of the fires, what are the common? How do I say? I guess what is the common restoration let me take that back. After a fire, what are the common mistakes after fire damage? What you guys see that happen? What you guys are dealing with clients for fire?
I would say the first thing is homeowners sign contracts very fast because they're pressured by companies to sign this contract, to do all this work and do all this stuff right then and there. And they're getting pressured. They're getting pressured from HOAs. It's amazing the amount of pressure an HOA puts on homeowners I've seen out here. Then they get pressure from the other restoration companies that are trying to get this contract signed to do this work. And they're dealing with a huge tragedy.
Right.
Their home is potentially gone. They may have lost an animal or, some sort of pet. They may have lost a family member, or maybe in the intensive care unit from the fire. Like, all these things go on, and they're getting pressured to sign contracts to get work done when they're right in the heat of the moment. So I would say the number one thing that most homeowners make a mistake on is not taking the time to really search out who you want to work with and why you're going to work with them. That's the number one, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but because I do totally agree with him. But fuck Adam Babin. No, listen.
What? Well, you guys are supposed to be a team. What the hell? Want me to cut a feed or something?
He's absolutely correct. But think about this: the number one thing, honestly, in a fire loss is that the untreated water, because that house is going to sit for 6, 7, 10, sometimes weeks. Because they're literally, you've heard of ambulance chasers from the old school lawyers. They're chasing. There's restoration companies, and there's not one that I know of that will show up at your house within 30 minutes of the fire being announced, being squashed or put out. There is restoration companies that say, sign this paper, we're going to take care of you. I can literally go take you around the street from our old office. This house is still boarded up. The fire was over a year ago, and that mitigated water has not been treated yet. That house has stalagmites hanging from the ceiling because it has not been worked on yet.
Yep.
Holy shit. Now, isn't there some sort of like regulatory practice? I mean, is something like some state code or something like that that's supposed to happen like after something like damage like that?
There is, but you want the number one problem, and I'm not going to, we could spend 6 hours talking about it. The number one problem is insurance companies across America.
Yep. They delay, they deny, they defend.
Yeah.
What they don't do is they don't pay out. They don't want to get your house back to pre-loss state like it should be. And they will find and buy every avenue possible to not do it.
Will we get in trouble if we say any of these companies? Or who?
Throw a dart.
Throw a dart. Yeah, I was about to say. Or is it one of those things where you could just like throw? Yeah, exactly. Man, Adam's like on it. He's
like Snake Farm. You ever heard of Snake Farm?
Oh man, no, you're right. It's just one of those things. Because here's my thing: is that you would think, and this, I mean, common sense being played here. But, us being veterans, we know common sense sometimes doesn't factor in. You would think that there is some sort of like regulatory, like the county or the state says, hey, your house has been damaged. It's got to get a specific amount of time before you got to get an adjuster to come out, before you got to get your home restored, blah, 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 blah. Because this is like a different realm for me. I mean, what is it? What is the regulatory standard for
every state has a Department of Insurance Affairs, or it might be different. So Pennsylvania, because it's a Commonwealth, is called the Bureau of Insurance Management, right? There's different things, and ultimately at the end of the day, we could coach our homeowners and sit down at the table and say, you need to reach out to the Department of Insurance Affairs. You need to file a complaint. You need to ask for another adjuster. Unfortunately, and this is the world that we live in, I'm not one to pull any punches, but the world we live in is in the pockets of the Department of Insurance is a lot of these big companies. I mean, go to an insurance company dinner at the end of the year when they're having their awards, and why is the state secretary on insurance affairs at these?
Yeah,
sounds like a conflict of interest.
I was about to say, ain't no shady stuff going on. What you talking about? That's like doctors that like to go and court the big pharma. And we had a guest a few days back about big pharma and my experience in big pharma and seeing how they have their holiday parties, and it's just, I'm pretty sure it's the same way with the state adjusters. Well, the reason why I say this is because I have a friend who's dealing with some damage in his house that has been yet to be paid out on a claim that's been almost like, I don't know, I think about almost a year and a half now out on it. Is there something regulatory for the insurance companies? I mean, again, common sense, but never mind. But that the state says, hey, once a claim's filed, you better either pay out or come up with some sort of final results or final status of this claim. Does in the business that you guys work in, have you seen any state come down and crack down on an insurance company and say, hey, look, you guys are taking too long in this. This needs to be claimed. What's your experience in that?
So some states, yeah. No, I was just going to say some states you'll find case law, and we try to stay up to date on that case law when it goes on throughout the country,
right,
where insurance companies will say, well, we're not going to pay. We could go on forever and explain to you kind of the back assness of things that are going on here. Let me give you a quick scenario.
We're veterans. We deal with the VA. We know what the deal is.
Yeah. Let me tell you right now, you think the VA is a challenge. I will promise you that this other side is a whole different ball of wax. Like when a homeowner calls us to come out and fix their problem, we come out, we do it. We put together our invoice at the end of the job, and we submit it on their behalf as a complimentary service. We'll submit it to the insurance company. The adjuster, who we don't work for, we weren't hired by the insurance company, which, mind you, they may be already pressuring the homeowner to use a vendor of their choice.
Vetted and accredited, yeah.
Exactly, because what they'll tell the homeowner is, oh, well, if their bill is too high, we won't pay it. And then they start scaring the homeowner right away. And that is a huge issue. We actually just got off of a job that went like that. And so we submit our invoice to the insurance company. I'll be, oh, well, first of all, they call it an estimate. I said, well, estimates get submitted to someone prior to approval of work, not once we're done working. It's our invoice. That's all there is to it.
Right.
You can't go through it and go, well, we're not going to pay for this and we don't want to pay for that. And that doesn't make sense. No, that's the invoice. It's done. We can't take these things back. So we submit that. Then they immediately begin to either they themselves, the adjuster, who is not a certified water restoration technician, mold technician, fire technician, none of that.
I was just about to ask.
They will start going through it and go, well, no, we don't pay this, we don't pay that. And I said, well, you're only here to determine coverage. That's what your job is. Is this customer covered or not? Yes or no? Well, yes, but we don't pay these things. Well, that's not your job, first of all. Second of all, there's nothing in your policy that says you don't pay these things. The homeowner hired us. You need to pay this bill. And so then that's where that next thing goes, is then they start going to apply this. If they don't do it themselves, they will send it to a third party who then gets paid on how low they can get our invoice.
I was about to say, do you guys work with home inspectors at the same time? Do you guys select a home inspector, or is it like a public defender from like how you go to jail or something like that? Do you have a public home inspector? Is there a that
it's called a public adjuster, which works on behalf of the homeowner once shit starts to hit the fan, and usually it's pretty soon. You're going to know right away depending on the adjuster. But to hit on the thing that you asked, for your buddy, and really anybody out there listening,
right?
If you start to get pushback from your adjuster for any reason, ultimately, at the end of the day, mitigation is completed work and it's cost incurred. So all they should be doing is submitting that invoice. We do submit it on their behalf as well, but all they should be doing is submitting that invoice to whoever their insurance company is and saying, listen, this work has been completed.
Right.
It's within the confines of my insurance packet. It's in the declarations page. Pay them in full. And literally it's going to save them a lot of grief, because here's what happens. The adjuster, who never sometimes doesn't even step foot on your damn loss. They don't even come into your house. They don't know that Adam just spent 7 days with 15 people, him, his business partner, whoever's there with him, has been on this loss and has spent time, money, and energy. But they're like, no, we're not going to pay for your emergency service at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's the cost of doing business. Well, this is what I say to your cost of doing business. At the end of the day, the cost of doing business is I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I responded to our mutual client who is giving me a 5-star review. They're thankful for that we were there. They're so thankful that we did what we did. And it is, like he says, it's not an estimate. It's a cost incurred. So the biggest thing to tell the listeners and anybody out there, that if you start to get into a struggle with your adjuster who hasn't been to your house, is blowing you up with email, and I hate to say it, one of the worst out there is I'm a member of this. A lot of veterans are a member of this bank and insurance company.
That's a matter of fact. That's a matter of fact. The bank and insurance company that my friend is working with, by the way.
Yeah,
a very large one.
Yes, they just got rid of paid their CEO some 50-some million to go away.
Yeah.
The double A
fix my
standard.
water damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Fix my water damage.
Yep.
And I tell my homeowners, every one of my homeowners, I treat them like family, right? But I tell my homeowners, at the end of the day, and I use my grandmother as an example. She just turned 93. She has been paying her homeowner's premium for 70-something years and never filed a claim. What is this $20,000 or $10,000 or $5,000 or even a $3,500 minor loss going to affect whatever the name of the insurance company is? Nothing.
Right. And
don't push back.
And that's it. Where does that fucking money go? Where did that money go? Especially is that you're required to have it to have your mortgage. If, of course, you're still paying on the house. And let's not talk about home warranties too that talk about that stuff. The home warranty stuff, it's another racket to get another thing that you can't get for a specific certification for some of the buildings or for some of the homes that you own. Certain homes, certain states, certain square footage, you have to have a home warranty or else they can't bond the freaking. I'm like, wait a minute, dude, I'm buying a fucking house. I got fucking insurance. If something breaks down, fucking pay it. That's you were literally asking. In some cases, I have friends who pay. I can't believe some of the home insurance rates that they pay a year, and I'm like, dude. And something like you were saying, bad wiring or something like that, or something that they thought was a small leak ended up being a larger issue. And something that you would probably think, all right, that's probably going to be a $5-6 grand gig, blah, blah, blah. And of course the state likes to add you have hazardous materials disposal, and then you have this disposal, and then you have to get a permit. You got to pull a permit. I mean, that's why a bunch of Billy Bobs do a lot of the work themselves, because of all the permit pulling to add to the additional bureaucracy just to change a fucking fixture. Well, you didn't change a fixture right. You didn't pull it right. You didn't pull a permit. So did you do this yourself? And then you're like, it's almost like getting caught red-handed stealing the cookie from the cookie jar, Do I say yes or no? Do I say I did this fixture myself? Did I say I rewired this? Did I say I pulled this juncture out? Oh, shit, what do I say? Because an adjuster or the home warranty person will say, oh, we can't cover it because you touched it.
Yep.
You need to come out.
You're not a licensed. You're not a licensed.
Yeah, exactly. You're not licensed. Yeah. Even though you were trained or probably mentored by some sort of journeyman electrician, the master of all electricians or stonemasons that said, this is what you got to do. No, sorry. It's just frustrating. There's a case, there's a report that came out from the Army, and it was a big drama that the Army diverted $1 billion from Army barracks to fund the border mission. Now, everybody knows, hey, we don't mind money being used for the border mission, but don't take it from the fucking barracks. There was an IG report that came out that said service members and first sergeants at 5 installations described problems with water quality in the barracks. For example, service members in one discussion group told us tap water in their barracks were often brown and not appear safe for drinking. Service members in 6 of the 12 discussion groups told us about issues with pests, including bed bugs, rodents, cockroaches, and wasps. At 3 of 10 installations, officials told us service members are generally responsible for pest control or removing hazardous material from barracks such as mold and sewage. Furthermore, officials at one installation told us service members are responsible for cleaning biological waste that may remain in a barracks room after suicide.
That's mind-blowing. Just like you don't have to be a certified, knowledgeable technician or specialist in this industry to know that you just have to be in the military, but not even that. But anybody should know that if any of that things happen, you need people who know what they're doing.
Right.
Take care of these things, because if not, you get into some of those photos you've shown where it's an iceberg.
Yeah.
You see a little dot on the front side of your drywall.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much it's eating through that drywall, which means the whole backside of that could be covered in mold.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I living in Florida, there was the HVAC systems that if it didn't have a specific, and everyone says, oh no, that's just a gimmick or whatever. And I'm like, dude, your squirrel cage is moldy as shit because you don't have a UV light in there to kill the spores off. And well, those provisions aren't, dude, you need to get somebody to come and help you out with this, man.
But Ice, going back to your very first thing when we were in the waiting room and we were chit-chatting with you, the problem is right there is listen, at the end of the day, they're wanting the service member to clean up after themselves or clean up after somebody else's self. And so what are they going to do? They're going to throw some keels on it. They're going to throw some encapsulation paint out, whatever they think they need to do. And all they're doing is literally hurting their own health and the future person that comes in there's health. I mean, you don't have to be a brainiac, but even in corporate America, everybody every year has to take the bloodborne pathogens test. Don't touch it. If you're not certified, don't touch it. Like it's one of those things that it can be very, 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 it can kill people. Mold can kill you.
Yeah, and I was about to ask, you guys are dealing with biological waste. Have you guys been in sites where somebody has passed or has taken their own lives?
Absolutely. Yep. We do a lot of unattended death bio cleanup or attended death bio cleanup. We do a lot of suicide cleanup. It's I in between my military stint and my corporate America stint and owning an R1, I was a licensed funeral director in Arlington, Virginia. So it's something to me is I'm passionate about, again, you want to treat everybody with respect. And we don't know why somebody decided that their life wasn't worth it. And God forsake them, I didn't have this 10 seconds to talk to them because I would have stopped it.
Right.
It's something that me and my team, we pride ourselves on. And I'll tell you, there's even some of my team's like, I don't want to go do a suicide, but every time we go there, and by the time we're done, it's a different type of a mission. It really is a different type of a mission when you're cleaning something up and you're restoring a room back for a mother or a father or a significant other. It truly, so they can at least step foot back in there and not see what they saw,
when they walked in. Yeah. When they walked in. What now you guys get phone calls from local law enforcement or agencies to assist in that? Did they reach out to you at least, or to say, hey, look, can you help us out? I mean, at least are you getting some support from the local community on that when it comes to those types of
claims?
Yeah,
absolutely. I embedded myself in the community. My father, my stepmother were cops for 20 plus years. My dad was a fire chief. I'll go clean a patrol car in my local town for free after someone pisses or biohazards in there. Just so that you can be that guy that they count on, right? They know that, hey, you want this cleaned up, because there is. What do you tell somebody of? All right, we're leaving now. Ultimately, most of the body is gone, right? But there's a mess. There's a mess left behind. So again, I'm not going to go knock on their door and say, "Hi, we're here to clean that up." It's not. That's bad business. But again, the cops, the detectives, the first responders, they know that something that we do on a pretty regular basis. To get their home back to or wherever it happened, back to
its original state. Normal. Some sort of normal thing. Because I mean, when we read there, all of us in the veteran community, especially where we're at from the media side of the house, seeing that report, just I couldn't imagine being somebody's teammate and have that happen, and then they tell you now you got to clean it up without the dignity and respect part. It's a necessary. I don't want to say evil, but it's necessary that it has to get cleaned up. How about that? But it's to put on the soldier who may not know how to clean it up, who may not know, and also may have been his teammates, or in some cases, like I said, it was his teammates. I was just kind of curious, because that to me right there is important on the dignity respect side. So how many cases do you? I mean, not to be on morbid curiosity, but how many cases do you normally deal with that a month? When it comes to bio?
On suicide calls, between my 3 locations, we average anywhere from 15 to 20 calls, and we might not get every one of them, but we'll go out and we'll do an inspection, and we'll, there's given them a free assessment and tell them what they need to do to clean it properly. it's all based on your marketing. I know a lot of guys, I'm not sure if Adam does, but a lot of guys stay away from biohazard cleaning. They don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's a group, it takes a special individual to go out and be able to clean that up.
Do you guys have any statistics of veterans in those statistics? Only because I say that because, you know, everyone likes to jump on the 22 a day stuff and likes to jump on. I mean, I get it. We do need to understand and wonder why. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but to get the problem down from a 22 a day, I was just curious to see. I mean, how many of those that you've worked are veterans? Is it really 22 a day? Is it a lot? I mean, it's because like you were saying about the second, third chances. I mean, that's the thing. So for me, it's just curious of those cases, how many of those are veterans, or do you guys track it or not want to track it or?
Yeah, I don't track it that way, but I do know that because we, on our trucks it says veteran non-franchise. People a lot of times they'll tell you that they are veterans, and of a few of the ones that I know that my team or myself have done, unfortunately there seems to be some kind of a veteran affiliation with a good number of them.
Oh man, I just, well, I will say this, that right there relieves a lot of pressure from a grieving family member to have to deal with, because like you were saying, if they were to have witnessed it or walked into it or something like that, image of that could be, and I don't want to go to that route and get dark all of a sudden, but it's like you were saying, it's a fact of life that has to happen. Somebody has to clean it up. It could also cause more health issues with somebody if it's not cleaned up properly, and you want to make sure. Is there a medical certification for that type of cleanup?
There's a bio waste. There's a trauma/bio cleanup that definitely is something that you need to follow to a T. Because like go back to the water for a second. Like Adam was saying, it's going to choose the path of least resistance. So, body fluids, blood, whatever that means, is going to go wherever it can go until it gets bound or stopped. So there is a very fine line that you need to follow to make sure that you're getting it cleaned appropriately.
Right. Yeah. I was about to say that kind of, oh man. Now, how many franchises are you guys running? How many franchises are you guys, or how big is the company, I should say, on how many franchises across the country do y'all have? Or can you speak for the company? I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, I can speak. I can speak on the franchise. I'm on the franchise advisory council, so there's 6 of us that make up that council.
Okay.
Currently, there's 147 owners, and that grows every day. So I could be off by 1 or 2. Please don't hold me to that. And of the 147 owners, there's 462 active and operating locations. So I myself own 3 territories, and included in those 3 territories, there's a bubble around it, right? So if there's nobody that owns right next to me, we operate in other territories that are unowned to make sure that the R1 name is out there and that we're taking care of our neighbors and our neighbors' neighbors. I know Adam, he can speak for himself, but I think he owns a couple territories as well.
Yeah, so we're in the Reno Tahoe area, and we're the only R1 in all of Nevada, as well as a large portion of Northern California. So we cover about 100-mile radius of our territory. And if you know the area, that means if we go over the mountain pass right next to us, that's a pretty gnarly drive in the wintertime up over that, which we're 24/7. So we go all hours of the day, all kind of like the U.S. Postal Service, right? All climb in place.
Right. No, you guys pride yourselves on your 24/7 customer outreach and stuff like that. That's important.
It is. We pushed about 90 hours last week or the week before, from Monday through Sunday, for all the work, because these after hours calls coming in 2.5 hours away from here, well over 100 miles away. And no one else will go down there to help these folks. Happens to be actually it's a small town veteran community, because there's an Army base out there, the Army Depot down there near Hawthorne, Nevada.
Gotcha.
And so we went down there to help out and try to help this older couple and this unfortunate large water loss that they had in their home down there. And nobody has any money. There's no money down there, it's just no one wants to help them because of that. And it's like, well, somebody needs to help them. So, we'll put the extra time, and it's 5 hours of driving a day there and back. Then you have the work added to it. I mean, it's a lot. It's demanding massively.
Yeah. So we already got some pokes on the questions here. Zoltan, The S1 Guru would love to highlight you guys on the page. Selfless services that you guys provide is amazing. Also from Nathan, how do I buy a franchise? Well, there you go. That's how you start it off. There you go. There you go, Nathan. Yeah, that's a good question. So how do you start? How do you buy one?
No, I'll tell you, my story is pretty similar to Adam's. Is I was in the Texas Freeze, right? I was working for another company on their West Coast disaster response team. I was working for what they call the Green Guys. So if you see their green trucks driving around, you'll know who they were. And the one thing I pride myself on is integrity and honesty and being upfront. And there was some dishonest shit happening. And so I literally called up my buddy and said, he was living in Arizona, and I said, "Yo, take that $100, buy that dingy ass trailer, throw every tool in there that we know, and come out there." But he came out there, and we spent 365 days living in the Residence Inn, and we fixed 13 families' homes during the Texas Freeze, which led us to, I was getting on a plane to buy another restoration franchise when an R1 van had driven by, knew nothing about it. But ultimately, to buy an R1 is just reach out to our friend dev department. Stellar Service Branch is our parent name. You can Google it, Restoration One. It'll say at the bottom to click interested in buying a franchise. Ultimately, guys, reach out to myself or Adam. I'll get you connected to whoever that I can, whether that's our friend dev guys or even I'll tell you, our CEO is a pretty awesome lady. Over the whole Stellar Service Brands, she is phenomenal, and if you got time, she'll talk your ear off. She does not care. She's a great woman that's building an awesome brand.
Then, as a matter of fact, I think can I drop an email in there? Would you guys be what email? I think one of the emails that we work. Let me just double check.
Sure.
I think it's from Bolt PR, Natalie Shambly. She's from your PR firm, though, right? I mean, is that?
Yeah, she's from the PR firm. But if you just do our first name dot last name at Restoration, the number one numeric1.com, it would get to both of us. So Adam.Babin or Hutch.Hillebert.
Okay, at restoration1.com. There you go.
Yes, sir.
There you go. You guys heard it. Is there what are the costs involved? Do you guys have a veteran? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you guys have VA assisted programs? Do you guys work with the VA on some of this too?
The franchise offers discounts for veterans.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What to say, Hutch? What were you going to say?
And then they also have, no, I was going to say the same thing. We have a veterans discount. So anybody that's buying in that is a veteran, you get a significant chunk off. And I will say it is significant. It's double-digit percentage off of the franchise fee. And then they'll also help you if you're trying to go through SBA or VA assistance. They'll help you through that paperwork process. It's not always the easiest. And God knows if it's government funded, then you're going to probably spend
I'm about to say that's a
long time filling that out.
Yeah, it's got. I think Congress will be able to fucking get some good bills out before you can get your shit done. Do you guys? Okay, somebody asked about Voc Rehab. I'm getting a personal DM. Do you guys work with VA for Voc Rehab?
I'm working. I'd like to get that set up. We're currently working with Nevada State has a veteran program where you can work through the state, and they will, for hiring and things like that, they'll provide some of the income for the first 30, 60, 90 days, things like that, kind of splitting things like that so we can find good veteran candidates.
Awesome.
And then also you can work through them and to get registered to be a Voc Rehab registered employer. So we're working down that path as well, at least for us out here.
Perfect. Oh man, see, there you go. Well, there you go. You go, guys. There you go. Get started. Get your franchise ready to go.
Yeah.
Gents, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is awesome. Hutch and Adam from Restoration One. Like I said, hit us up in the inbox at contact@WTFNationRadio.com if you want to get more information, and we'll forward you guys all the details. And again, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been awesome.
It's been great, Ice. Thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, this
enjoyed chatting.
Yeah, this is a good talk. We're gonna go ahead and take a break right quick. We'll step back just like how we did before. We'll chit chat in the behind the scenes. All right. So Restoration One, Hutch and Adam, Hillebert and Babin. There you go. All right, Smoker, you got it. We'll be right back. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tensions far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army top of the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W.T.F, the madness we know. A Humvee stuck in the mud so deep. A midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the madness we know. The mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like gold in hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W.T.F, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wild things roam, every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange, Army W.T.F, it never will change. So raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say Army W.T.F every single day.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back. Last half of the Monday edition. Thank you all for tuning in. Oh, man. That was a good guess. Hutch and Adam, Restoration 1. Doing some more talking. You're going to see them soon in some other posts. That's pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Telling us what's going on. Giving us some pro tips. And also, you know, kind of like talking about getting veterans a job. You know, in this job market right now, everyone likes to talk about. I don't know. I hear some friends that are saying that they're having some job hunting issues. But yeah, Zoltan, I cannot DM you guys as well. Hey, Zoltan, when we're done with the show, I'll hit you up with the DMs, and I think I probably know reason why. Probably, I don't know. You talking about us or who you talking about? There's some stuff that I'll give you some pro tips. I don't want to give you pro tips because you know you're a pro as it is, so I don't want to break balls on Zoltan. So all hail Zoltan. Anyways, so I just got a message. Well, matter of fact, let me just read this to you right now. You guys been watching all the news about the renaming or the rechanging back of the posts that were they're officially now Fort Hood. Is Fort Hood back again? So yeah, so there it is. Matter of fact, I just all the name so all the name changes that are going back to be whatever the name change is going to be. Officially Fort Hood. Because somebody asked us about there we go. Yeah. So Fort Hood is back. It used to be Fort Cavazos, and now it's back to Fort Hood, which I think it should be called Fort Benavides, but that's just me. But anyhow, what was I going to talk about? There's a story that we're going to talk about. Didn't I say I was going to cut, or did we just? No, we cut that before the break. But yeah, seeing what a waste of money, and it should have been changed in the first place. I think here. You know, I think what it is that for its political reasons anyways, that's probably why Fort Hood or any of the posts with Confederate generals named were never changed again. I mean, it's like, why did all the way up until the Biden administration, because we talk about it now because it's the Monday edition, all the way up to the Biden administration that we finally had all these name changes and stuff like that. But before that, there was never an issue. Everybody fucking knew why. It was like, why the Army? It's almost like, why does the Army do the Army things when it comes to Army stuff? And then the Army happens when they happen to do Army things. Like not marching in full stride in front of the commander-in-chief and having everybody do eyes left. Exactly that. It's just some things that don't make sense. That don't make sense. So yeah, it's official. Everything's back at Fort Hood. Everything's slowly going back to the names of what they were before. So now everyone's going back to brag. Exactly, back to betting. We offered our assistance in naming some installations. It's not my fault that the Army didn't want to listen to that. We had a choice. You know, like that right there. See, that's what we wanted. I wanted Fort friggin', Fort Benavides. That's what I wanted. Fort Hood. A, he's from Texas. B, his family wanted it. And C, he's a Medal Honor recipient. That's just me. Again, that's just me. That's how I wanted it. Why? Ooh, man, Nathan, why does a drill kill themselves, man? I tell you what, a lot of fucking things. I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm glad you brought that up. There was a post that we posted. You drill sergeants, man. I got to hand it to y'all, man. Dealing with all the shit that you have to deal with being a drill sergeant, then having to deal with all the shit because you're a drill sergeant, and then being led by individuals who probably not are drill sergeants. I can't even imagine the unsurmountable stress you must be dealing with, and having to deal with fucking, things you can and cannot do to trainees, things you can and cannot do because of trainees. So, my big idea is, why can't they go a GoFundMe when they man? You GoFund, man. You're on your 3rd year. Jesus Christ, Nathan. Hang in there, man. Fuck. It used to be one of the things that was part of the prestige of being in the Army, is serving as a non-commissioned officer. Drill sergeant, battle staff. Recruiting used to be kind of admirable at the time. You get all the orders of Saint Somethings or Sergeant Morales or Sergeant Artie Murphy. Those are the things that were brought you up to that. There was a the drill sergeant to me is one of the NCOs that you can't, no higher standard exists. Was the drill sergeant locked up for real? There was a picture that we posted on U.S. Army W.T.F moments about a drill sergeant standing at parade rest in front of a CSM, and the CSM had his hands in his pockets. Now, from what I was told in the drill sergeant world, in the planet of drill sergeants, or in dealing with trainees, in front of trainees, there's things you just don't do in front of trainees. That if there's an issue that you have with a drill sergeant and you outrank them, or you're their first sergeant or CSM, you take them to the side. Kind of like, hey, stand to the side or take it. Everyone likes to do that. Punish in private, but praise in public. I guess that only seems to be a certain standard. So when we highlighted it, people said that NCO wasn't getting locked up. Why'd you say he was getting locked up? Well, that CSM was, do you stand for a parade rest all the time for a CSM? I know some people on the staff. Have you ever been in an S1 shop and see nobody stand in parade rest for a CSM? Unless you're being directed to, or you're talking to somebody or something like that. I don't know. I think you should worry about them troops on fucking TikTok first. Posting missile chemtrails, contrails. Before you sit there and talk shit about saying what a drill sergeant can and can't do. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Nathan, man, about your homie who ended his life last cycle. Fuck, man. That's one of those things that that's a whole nother discussion that we can get into that. That is one of those things where people on the understanding of the why. See if someone wastes some money. That's a big, yeah. Sorry, my comments are coming in a little bit late for some reason. Okay, so let me I think that's it for Monday, right? We're good on the Monday stuff. You good on the Monday stuff? You good on the Monday stuff? This is the Monday edition with myself and Massey. Massey's not here; he's on the road. I know you guys know that for 4th of July. I know we were in Colorado for the Haircuts for Heroes, but I think we're gonna go to we're gonna be in Gastonia, North Carolina, where our very own Massey is going to be performing at the Carolina Vet Fest, happening on July 5th. Doors open at 12 o'clock. Starts at $1,300. Advance $20. Date of $25. I don't know. Do I get to go in free? I don't know, Massey. I forgot to ask Massey. Since this is kind of like our show type of thing. Do we get to go in? Do we get a free? Do we get a freebie? Do I get a freebie? Gastonia. Healing Through Unity, hosted by, oh man, I'm going to fuck up. Gee, I'm going to mess up that name. Sarah Kotsugolas. National Anthem of Lead Finney, Sick Man, Alice in Chains tribute, and all the bands. But you see the Stephen Massey, that's our Massey. That's our Massey. Talking November, Ugly Poets, Saluda, Daniel Langdon, Igniting the Sky, Graveyard Boulevard, Drown the Deep, Midas. Oh man, Milestone, man, look at all these names. Bruce Rhino at the Rooster, 334 West Main Avenue, Gastonia, North Carolina. I think that's the one event we're gonna, because we just hit the Army birthday, and we also have the we also have, yeah, for, I think last year we did Haircut for Arrow. I think this is one of the events that we're going to, the one in Gastonia, North Carolina. I'm going to reading from Nathan here. Dude, this job has its up and down, but man, I'll tell you, it's shitty. I respect you and thank you for speaking out for us. I've been in some hard places in my career, but this is by far the hardest. Thanks, brother. Hey, man, anytime, Nathan, man, anytime. I will say this, that a non-commissioned officer will work no harder than what a drill sergeant has to do. I mean, it's just, you are turning civilians into soldiers, and you are literally sometimes giving individuals the foundation that they probably would not have had in their own homes. So shout out to the drill sergeants. So Vet Fest, Carolina Vet Fest, July 5th in Gastonia, North Carolina. I don't know. You're definitely going to see Massey there if he's going to be performing. You might see one of us there too. You might see me. You might see CQ. You might see whatever. You never know what event we're going to pop out of. Wait, that doesn't sound right. You never know what event we're going to show up to. How about that? But anyways, make sure you share, like, and follow all of our platforms. We're broadcasting live on 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and of course X. We're on the X app at WTF Nation Radio. Y'all can jump in the chats of all of them. I still see them, unless some of you that know me personally send me personal DMs while I'm out here. I'm trying to make sure that I don't reveal, personal data. The Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior with Michael CQ, Big Boss Man Carrasquillo. Of course, his angry staff of Angry Elf and Mad Mike. Let's see. Does he have a guest? Does he have a guest? I think he has a guest this week. I don't think he does. I think he's doing the Army. I think he's doing the recap. I think he's doing the Army recap. The Army birthday recap is what I think he's going to do. Him and his crew. Good time. If you guys see all the videos and posts that we shared, we're going to pick a day, and just like all the influencers that we're worked with, we're just going to just pick a day. We're just going to share their stuff. Just got to figure out which day it is. And of course, Wednesday with Sorrents, Smoke Pit, Radar and TZ. Thursday, Sergeant's Time, myself and Spanky. FTX Friday, Saturday co-ops, weekend co-ops with the crew. Those two are usually together anyways. Weekend co-ops is a lot of the gaming stuff with Stack Up, Valor Gaming, WTF Nation Gaming. And then WTF Nation Radio's sports bar with the actual King Smith and what do you say, the coach? And then me and Massey. But, Massey's out living the life of rock and roll and sex, drugs, and rock and roll stuff, so he's out doing his thing. But yeah, share, like, and follow. We try to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try to keep you guys entertained. I think that's it. I think we're done. So again, make sure you share, like, and follow. And thanks again for y'all supporting the chats. I like all the feedback. This is what it's all about. And no, we will not take those posts down. Sorry. Y'all have a good night. See you.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Reigns. murder's driving us insane. ATF zero dark 30, no time to the blade. Push ups in the mud, feel the muscles strain. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstones in our eyes. Memories for breakfast, no room for lies. Rock marches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters we rise. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos, in the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant's fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Zones and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive, in the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our sin. Battle bodies by our side, our men. In the army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. we dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again. And then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.